All right, class, so now we're going to talk about examples where our leading coefficient of our trinomial does not equal 1. And we're going to follow those exact same steps, the steps where we find the factors of AC that add up to B. So A in this case is 10, B in this case is 3, and C in this case is negative 18. It's important to include our negative. So I need to, step 1, find the factors of AC that add up to B. So what is AC in this case? AC is going to be 10 times negative 18. That's going to give us a negative 180. And that's a big number to find the factors of. So we can go by trial and error. You could make a factor tree if you want. Let's go through, though, and write down a couple of factors for negative 180. That's our second step. Now, negative 180 could factor into a negative 18 and a 10. Okay. Negative 18 plus 10 gives us negative 8. That's a no-go. We're looking for 3. How about negative 9 times 20? Negative 9 plus 20, that's going to give us positive 11, still not 3. How about negative 15 and 12? Well, negative 15 plus 12 gives us a negative 3. That's really close, but we need a positive 3. Remember, I could also look at positive 15 times negative 12. Positive 15 times negative 12 gives us 180. And if I add these two together, that adds up to 3. So now our third step, right, is to rewrite that middle term, B, as the factors we got from step 2. So 15 and negative 12. And then we can factor by grouping. Remember, our goal is to unfoil. So if I have 10 x squared plus 15x minus 12x minus 18, we can factor by grouping. I'm going to rewrite this as plus a minus, right? So I can get some grouping symbols around here. That's our parentheses. So I now can factor by grouping. My greatest common factor of 10x squared and 15x is going to be 5x. So I have 5x times 2x plus 3. Next, I have negative 12x and negative 18. Do we like negative leading coefficients? No, we don't. So we're going to pull out a factor of negative 6. Okay, that's going to leave me negative 6 times 2x gives me negative 12x. And negative 6 times a positive 3 puts me back at negative 18. So now I know I've done this correctly because both of these are the same. So I collect my greatest common factors, and I'm left with 5x minus 6 times 2x plus 3. And if I wanted to check my answer, what I would do is I would FOIL these two binomials back out. So remember, FOIL means first, outer, inner, and then last. Let's take a look at a second example. So here I have 12x squared minus 5x minus 2. So again, I need to find the factors of AC that add up to B. A in this case is 12. C in this case is a negative 2. So this time AC is going to be 12 times negative 2 that's going to give me a negative 24. So I need to think, okay, what are some factors of negative 24 that add up to b, which is negative 25? Sorry, which is negative 5. So I have negative 24. Well, I know that would factor into a negative 4 times a 6. Well, negative 4 plus 6 is a positive 2. Nope. What about negative 8 and 3? Negative 8 times 3 is negative 24, and negative 8 plus 3 is negative 5. Ding, ding, ding. Perfect. So now for step 3, we can rewrite this middle term, negative 5, as negative 8x plus 3x. So I have 12x squared minus 8x plus 3x minus 2. And we're going to factor by grouping. So we'll put some parentheses. Okay. So now I look at my first group and I say, okay, what is the greatest common factor of 12x squared and negative 8x? Well, they're both going to have a factor of x, so I know I'm going to have to pull that out. And the greatest common factor of 12 and 8 is going to be a 4. So I'm going to pull out a 4x. That leaves me with 3x, because 4x times 3x gives me 12x squared, minus 2. Now I look at my second group. Okay, I have 3x and negative 2. Well, the greatest common factor of 3x and 2 is going to be a positive 1. Remember, I still have to pull out that term. I still need 1 times 3x minus 2. Okay, so now I know I've done this correctly because both of these are identical, right? So I take my greatest common factors. That gives me 4x plus 1 times 3x minus 2 is my final answer. And again, I could always check my example by foiling. The last example I want to show you guys is this one right here. So I have negative 6x squared minus 5x plus 21. Okay? Now, it's important to remember that I do not like, or we don't like, negative leading coefficients. So before I can even factor this, I need to pull out this negative term. So I'm going to have negative 1 times 6x squared, and that's going to change our signs. So that's going to give me 6x squared plus 5x minus 21. Now I can factor this trinomial by finding the factors of AC that add up to B. Keeping in mind 6 is our new A, positive 5 is our new B, and negative 21 is our new C. I'm going to leave this one for you guys to solve, but your final answer that you get should be negative 3x plus 7 times 2x minus 3. So go ahead, work through this problem, find the factors of AC that add up to B, and see if you can factor this. Always remember you can check your answer if you need.